Hi, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David. We got to talk about RuPaul's Drag Race episode 9, season 13. We got some really solid Snatch Game performances. And then also some ones that were not so solid.
No, as it will be. Yes. But first, if you're new to this channel, please click subscribe and give this video a thumbs up.
And if you want to support us on Patreon, there's a link in the description. We're watching Survivor Micronesia, you guys. It's real good.
Oh, it's so good. So good. Hey, guys. I know you're also watching BB Can right now. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Busy
Thank you for
day,
double tasking. Yes. What is this new comment format in the bottom of the screen?
I changed up our aesthetics a little.
You guys, Sarah does this to me sometimes. She just one day we just had a timer at the beginning.
Yes.
And I was like, what? And then she'll do the graphics. And these things just happen. It's incredible. That's right. Good job, Sarah.
I'm here for you, David. Just sit back and relax.
I know.
And we'll have fun things. Okay?
I love it.
All right. Well, let's talk about this Drag Race because this was a fun episode.
It was. I mean, Snatch Game is always fun. And I will say, like, Snatch Game always has mixed results, right? Like, there's always people who are really, really bad and people who are great. And that's what makes it so compelling. Like, I think after, I don't even know how many seasons of Snatch Game, people are like, we got to get rid of this. You know, we got to switch it up. And I just think it's always, because there's such a wide variety in performance, I feel like it's always compelling. You know, you really get to see who shines.
Well, this being my second one, I'm such an expert. I think keep it. It's great.
Yeah, it's fun.
Very different from the other improv challenges. There's a twist to it, and you can see the difference. There is very clearly someone who nailed the improv challenge a couple weeks ago who flopped on her face for this challenge. And so I like to see variety in performance.
Yeah. And like all of these drag queens are their own character. You know, Simone, Olivia Lux, these are drag characters, personas. But like impersonating actual stars is also like such a huge part of drag and drag performance. So this is like their shot to show like, have you practiced at all? Can you do any celebrity impersonations? And only some of them can. I'll say that.
Based on what we, some really think that they can, and they cannot.
They cannot.
So, but first, at the top of this episode, we see sort of, you know, just coming off of the elimination before, which was 2 weeks ago. So
yeah, it feels
we get to sort of go through that again, reeling from this bottom three being such elite three that it's shocking.
Right.
Denali gives us the biggest eye roll I've ever seen, and I loved it.
Yeah, I know. There was a lot of like, wow. I mean, the fact that the three of us were in the bottom, that just shows it's anybody's game. It could be anybody, any week. You know, it's like, I think, was this the first week when it was all quote unquote winners in the bottom three? They were shook by that. They were shook.
That is, yes, 100%. But Rose is flying high coming off of this win. Feeling good.
Feeling good. And she's like, she's feeling so good that she's going to guarantee, she's putting a stamp on it. I guarantee that I'm going to make it to top 4. Okay.
Yes. All right. Wow. We'll hold you to it. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
See you there.
Rue comes in for a little mini challenge. We got tights. We're going to do some punk drag.
Yep. Quick drag.
Honestly, was like, I don't want to see any of these bands. This is.
No.
Whoa.
Nope. Pass. Hard pass on that. I will say, like, Tina did get the most favorable edit. You know, she's really going for it, shaking the butt down on the ground. Like, based on what we saw, she deserved to win that mini challenge. And apparently, I didn't. You know, they don't indicate this in the show itself, but apparently Rue doing her own version was like a surprise during the taping. Like Rue just jumped in there and like did her version. And apparently the queens were like a little bit gagged by that. So that's fun.
Nice. All right. Well, yeah, like you said, per the edit, Tina is going to win. because that's who they're showing us. I was like, who's winning this? I don't like any of those looks, but yeah, I'm seeing a lot of Tina. Okay,
a lot of Tina. Yeah, and a lot of Rue laughing at Tina. You know, that's the key. Whoever's making Rue laugh, it's gonna be the winner. So Tina gets her mini challenge win.
Yeah, I really like. I know that Rue, like this is Rue's show.
Yeah.
Whoever Rue likes stays. Whoever Rue wants to win wins. Like I understand that, but I really felt in this episode that I was seeing a clear picture of where Rue was headed, and I am headed in a different direction.
Okay.
I was like, all right, I'll just admit it. Rue and I have different tastes. We have different
opinions.
Yeah. So
I am interested to see what you thought.
How we go through this. Okay, all right.
Yes.
Yeah, so now we know Snatch Game. Yay, announced. Right. Okay.
Snatch Game. Before Rue comes in to do his like workroom check-in, we're just getting little bits and pieces of like Utica has a squirrel wig. You know, Simone is confused why Utica has a squirrel wig. Gottmik is saying like, I don't normally do impressions. That's not really my thing. Just these like little bits, Candy not knowing who Mary Queen of Scots is, like kind of setting us up for some of the characters that these queens are going to do.
Candy doesn't know who anyone is in every single episode.
I know. It's like, I know the producers are creating these moments, right? Like, they probably told Candy, like, hey, can you go ask Rosé who Mary Queen of Scots is or whatever? We need this moment.
But it's because like, they know Candy doesn't know who it is.
I know. And I'm just like, Candy, you can say no. You can be like, can you get someone else to do it this time?
No,
like, I do that every time. But I'm sure Candy's happy for the camera time.
No, she's like, yes. What am I supposed to do? I'm the star of this season. Where am I supposed to go?
Right.
Yes. But I was like, oh my God. Does she have like any history ever?
And listen. I don't know everything about Mary Queen of Scots, but I've heard of her, you know, like you haven't even heard of her.
You don't have to know exactly like what happened, but yes, at least be like, oh yeah, I heard about this like queen type person. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all I'm asking. Okay.
Yes.
Then
Rue comes in, right?
Yes. We're setting they're setting it up for us that Elliot is taking a big risk.
Big risk, and specifically that Elliot is in trouble. Rue seemed over it with several of the queens to me in this walkthrough. And Elliot was the beginning of that, where she was like, okay, but I've seen Golden Girls 25 times.
Yeah.
So, and she's being like, she's not saying this, but she's saying like, you, Elliot with 2 T's, are not going to be a good Blanche Devereaux. So how are you going to make that funny? How are you planning to do that?
It's exactly what you just said. Rue is like over some people, and I think that this is when I start to notice like okay, because she is more than willing to be like, this is going to be amazing for some queens, and then she's very much like, are you sure you want to do this? For certain queens. And it does take me back to the one other Snatch Game I saw. And I remember very clearly that our beautiful Gigi Good, this was a moment when Rue was like, no, please don't do this. What are you doing? And she killed. She blew us all away. It was amazing. So just because Rue is like, I feel like doesn't mean they're not going to kill it.
Yeah.
But I just can't tell by this edit where we're headed. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I just felt like I had more of a read on like Rue, because Rue also like was skeptical, quote unquote, with Simone doing Harriet Tubman.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was reading Rue's tone where I'm like, again, it feels like the producers are making you ask if you're worried that it's going to offend anybody. I don't think that Rue actually believed that Simone was going to do a bad job and offend people, but she was just like asking that question because maybe some people watching were asking the same question and Simone kind of had to address it. But I really felt that Rue was like, Simone, you're great. And like, this is part of drag where we like poke fun at things. So like, I got to ask this question, but like, don't worry, you're going to be fine.
Right. It's kind of like, let's just clear the air. Let's just get it out there so that no one is offended. If we say it first, people shouldn't be offended, right?
Right.
But yeah, she's very supportive of this in this conversation.
Yeah.
Then though, when Utica comes up from the get-go, she's not supportive. Rue is not on board with my Utica, and this is where I started to have problems, David.
And it's a little bit like you're not even helping her find the right path almost. I don't know if you agree with that, but she just was kind of like, why are they squirrels?
Yeah.
Bob Ross had an afro. Why don't you just wear the afro? I do agree with that sentiment. Utica is being too woke here, right? She's like, I can't wear afros, period, no matter what. And it's like, no, really the issue is like, you shouldn't wear an afro if you're pretending to be a black person, but you're pretending to be Bob Ross, who had an afro. It's okay to wear an, and like, everybody said this to death at this point, right? It's like so confusing, this squirrel wig. But Rue's just kind of like poking at her, like trying to get her to defend the squirrel wig, but not kind of ideating with her. Like, well, what if we changed it around and like, let me help you get to a place that actually makes sense. She's just kind of like, over it again.
Yeah, I really wish, like, the fact that Utica said, like, about appropriating, and I was like, okay, this is weird that she feels this way, but whatever. If she does, sell it to me on the comedy, Utica. Tell me, a squirrel wig is crazy, but it kind of looks like his hair. Like, give me the comedy of it. Like, I was waiting for her, because it is ridiculous, but it kind of looks like his hair from a distance, right?
Right.
So give me that pitch, Utica. Be like, I thought this was just kooky and crazy and a fun way to do his hair.
And like Bob Ross was all about nature painting. So these are his happy little squirrels that make up his, hair. Like that's a Bob Ross reference.
Yes. David wrote it for you, Utica. Call David. Okay. Hire him. So yeah, I'm already going into this super, super just worried and disappointed.
Yeah. And then Tina, she's losing patience with Tina too. Rue is. And she's kind of like, so you've got your signature colors there. Okay. And then Tina does Jennifer Coolidge, right?
Yeah.
And Rue's like, a lot of people do Jennifer Coolidge, and I just don't remember yours. Like, it's just like, oh God, okay. This is very awkward.
Yeah. So we decide to then go with Richard Simmons. And I'm not sure that was a great choice for Tina. I'm not going to lie.
I'm not sure either. I think it's a great choice for somebody.
Somebody would.
But it's not
Richard Simmons is an amazing character.
Fantastic.
He's up there as a cuckoo, and just there's so much you could play with.
The fact that
I have a Richard Simmons story. Go ahead.
I need you to tell it right now.
Okay, this was a while ago, back when he was still around, because remember he got kidnapped or something happened?
Yep.
What did happen to Richard? He's gone. He's hidden away?
He's alive. He's maybe being held hostage by the maid. We're not sure.
We're not sure. But before all of that drama, when he was just living his life, he was on my flight from Florida. I was coming back home to LA one time, and apparently this was a flight he did regularly. So all of the flight attendants knew him and loved him, and they treated him like he was the pilot or a co-pilot or something. And he got on the overhead and spoke to us a number of times. And a lot of them were like, let's stretch everybody up. And I was like, wait, what? It was incredible. I had it's like a 5-hour flight from Florida to California where he was on the overhead regularly trying to get me to exercise. I was like, what is happening right now? Yeah.
I love it. That is amazing. But he is like such an over-the-top personality. I'm honestly surprised that he hasn't been done before on Snatch Game.
Yeah.
Doing men on Snatch Game is, I think it started like season 7, if I'm not mistaken. Kennedy Davenport did Little Richard. And back then it was a big deal that a drag queen was impersonating a man. And they're like, that's not a woman. What are you doing? And Kennedy was like, but Richard, like Little Richard is in drag. You can't tell me that he's not, And that kind of like opened the door. And then this season, lots of variety. You know, we've got Richard Simmons, we've got Bob Ross, JVN, who's non-binary, Patrick Starr, who is, I'm not sure, like, you know, if Patrick is non-binary or just a boy in makeup or whatever, but like lots of different genders and gender identities in this cast of Snatch Game, which is like kind of exciting, except that Rue is just kind of like, bad idea, bad idea, bad idea. And I'm kind of like, oh God, I don't know about this.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't why it's Rue's show, but like giving us a little something for the edit to just be like, are you sure is one thing. But to be like, no, don't do that is not allowing the queens to just be creative and do what they want. If they fall on their face, they fall on their face.
Yeah.
So let them. Right. But like you give them the freedom to do so. Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's very confusing.
Yeah. And then, you know, the last one that Rue is kind of like harping on was Tabitha Brown with Olivia Lux. And it really comes down to Rue doesn't know who Tabitha Brown is.
Yeah.
And so doesn't want to see the impression. But it's like, come on, at least like give her a chance to make you laugh.
There are a lot of people you don't know, Rue, that are.
And if you don't know who it is, then there's a lot of potential for it to be funny because you have no clue whether or not it's funny.
Yes. And Rue didn't know who Gigi was last year. So that's okay. Go with it, Olivia.
Yeah.
What should you have? I don't know.
Yeah. Right.
Okay. Let's get into the actual Snatch Game of the Snatch Game.
Let's do it.
Who did you love, David?
Well, I loved 3.
Okay.
I liked 1.
Okay.
The rest of them.
Oh, the rest of them, not so much. Huh?
Goodbye. Didn't like them. The 3 that I got, Mick, was like an inspiration. Yeah. I mean, that was so good from the moment it started with the voice bit. Like everything was just on. Yeah. I thought Rosé was equally kind of on. The accent was so funny. So good. Then the third one that I really loved was Simone. I just thought because like she just did such a funny version that was like respectful to the idea of Harriet, but taking advantage of the fact that nobody knows what she was actually like. And so she can do whatever she wants. She can create whatever character she wants to create. I thought it was really funny.
I agree. I love all 3 of those. I loved one more. I loved Denali as Jonathan Van Ness.
That was like just a step below for me. Yeah, I thought that was a solid performance, but just wasn't one where I'm like, oh, I'm going to remember that for a long time.
Okay, true. I can definitely stand by that. So we're in agreement there. Now, I didn't mind Candy. Now, this I thought, Candy, you're not being anyone other than Candy.
That's my problem.
We've seen it before, and I was like, I'll actually forgive it right now because it worked I think it kind of just works in this environment.
You're right. I mean, maybe I'm being too hard on Candy here because the fact is she made Rue laugh, and that's the whole point of Snatch Game. And I don't know who Patrick Starr is, but from conversations that I've had, that's not how Patrick Starr is.
Right.
That was Candy Muse in a Patrick Starr costume.
Yes.
But she did have some funny moments as Candy Muse. So maybe she can be like above the really more cringy people on this episode.
Yeah. Tina did not sound 1 ounce like Richard Simmons. And I'm sorry, I've heard him in person. She did not sound like Richard Simmons at all.
She also was not wearing a fro. Richard Simmons has an afro, and Tina was just wearing like a big teased out female wig. Yeah. There was a surprising lack of crystals on the outfit. I thought Richard Simmons is known for like Swarovski crystals on his little workout pants. I just thought like she's really trying hard in the performance. She committed to it and had bits with the legs and all of these things. But every time she came on camera, I just was like, this isn't living up to what it could be, because Richard Simmons is such a good character for Snatch Game.
Yes. And it was such a bummer because I was like, maybe she would have killed it at Jennifer Coolidge, and this is her second choice. So it's just like not as good. But we just, I think everyone holds Tina at a higher standard because she is like this performance queen. And like, you just expect more. And you're like, oh gosh, this didn't fly.
Didn't fly. And Olivia's also did not fly for me.
It was dead on the ground with not even a flap of the wing. Like,
yeah. And like, I'm sort of tangentially aware of Tabitha Brown. I know a little bit about her. I've seen some of her videos. I don't know how well you know her, but this again was one where I'm like, you are saying things that seem like, okay, you know who Tabitha Brown is, but like you're not saying them like she says them. You're not doing a good impression. And you're also not leaning into like the funny things of what she does. Like her being a vegan is not funny. So why do you just keep talking about that, you know?
Yeah, it wasn't funny. And I think like we already mentioned, if half the people don't know who this character is, do whatever. Candy didn't do her character, but she made people laugh. So at least Olivia made people laugh. Same thing with Tina, like didn't nail the character, but she did get some laughs, you know, like Olivia, just do something that would make people laugh. But it was interesting when we finally get like Michelle's notes, because Michelle does know Tabitha and she mentions like catchphrases, and it's like, oh my God, yes. Use a catchphrase or two or three. Like this is
right.
Ooh, yeah.
Like from the little bit I've seen of Tabitha Brown, she does this thing when she's like doing cooking demos or whatever. She's like a little bit like that, like that. Like she has these things where she's like adding ingredients and she has a funny way of speaking, those funny catchphrases. Nothing. None of those. Yeah.
None. That was real disappointing, that part. And then we get to Utica.
Sarah, I need to let you take this because we need you to be honest with us, Sarah.
I will be honest with you that it was not a Bob Ross. Girl, you looked good. I am on board with a squirrel wig. If we'll make up a reason why it was great. Your outfit, your makeup, like you look great as Bob Ross. There was nothing. She even said he's got this great like ASMR thing in her talk with Rue. And then did we hear anything close to ASMR? No. You take that and you go overboard with it. That's how you would have done Bob Ross. And the little jokes with the paints and the environments just didn't work.
It's just not working at all. Like the fact that she's eating paint is just embarrassing. The makeup was incredible. Like to paint trees in your eyeshadow, that is the level of detail that we love to see from Utica. And that's like part of why we love her so much, because she thinks so like on a micro level with her drag, like every detail is thought through. Incredible look.
Yeah.
The wig is like, I just can't even talk about it anymore. Like it's just so stupid that she is like obsessed with this squirrel wig. But even if she wore a regular Afro wig, the jokes are not there. Where are the jokes? As Trinity Taylor
wanted her to do a voice is what I really wanted her to do. But so you guys know I am delusionally in love with Utica, but like I will recognize when it doesn't work, and it did not work.
Painfully bad. Bad. Then we get next day, workroom. They've had a chance to sleep on their performances and really think about what they've done. And Olivia is happy with what she offered in the Snatch Game. And that's troubling to me in terms of a lack of self-awareness, you know?
A little bit. There was some delusion there that she was proud of her performance. And everyone's like, it becomes a thing.
Right.
When Utica and Denali are talking about how maybe Olivia's in danger, and Olivia's like, oh, really? You said that did great earlier. Yeah. And I just wanted to be like, well, doesn't everyone say that to your face? Doesn't everyone say, good job?
Yeah. Because like
to your face.
Immediately after you've bombed, the last thing that anybody is going to tell you is like,
you're probably
get ready to lip sync tomorrow, girl. Like that was embarrassing. But to be honest, if I'm Utica and Denali's asking me this question, I'd be like, I really am in no position to comment on anyone else's performance. I just need to focus on me, and I need to learn my lip sync words because yikes.
I mean, probably Denali was asking so that Utica would be like, it's probably me. I'm in danger. Like, that's probably what Denali was really asking. But no, that Utica mentioned somebody else.
Mm-hmm. Wait, I'm sorry. We have to back up, Sarah. And I think that this is hilarious that we forgot to talk about Elliot in the Snatch Game.
Oh, did we?
It was that forgettable.
Oops. Ooh, that is not a good sign.
But that really is it. That's it. Like there was nothing funny about it. The accent wasn't right. The wig wasn't right. It just was so boring and utterly forgettable.
I can't believe it. I don't have it in my notes at all.
I don't either.
But it should have been because it was really bad. Yes. I mean, and this is unfortunate, just like the Richard Simmons is unfortunate because it's such a great character. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
She's iconic and you could just have so much fun with it.
Yeah.
And poor Elliot is just, it sounded like Elliot.
Yeah.
Making not funny jokes.
Yep. And Elliot's one of those that kind of strikes me as that performer where you have to constantly tell her, like, be bigger, do more than you think you need to do. And she just still like never quite gets there. But in Snatch Game, there's no director who's like, okay, let's do it again and give me more this time. So it's just her not giving enough. Answer after answer after answer.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Wow. Glad you remembered.
Yeah. David. I don't know what made me think of it, but anyway. So
because we're about to talk about Elliot here.
Oh, wow.
In the workroom. I'm in the workroom still. And Elliot talks about her grandpa watched her do drag. That was a very cute story.
Right. So that was cute. Yeah, right. Awesome. Yeah, that was a nice like segment to hear, Rose and Simone's parents are supportive. Of course, it's difficult to hear that Denali's parents think it's like a kink, that's sucks that that's still a reality, but it is.
Yep.
So then we go to the runway, right?
Yes. Fascinating Fascinators.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Do you guys all know that I am like a major royal fan? What would you call that, David? I'm like,
oh wow,
very into the royal family is what I
it's like more than a fanatic, you know what I mean? Like it's
like I study it. It's like almost a hobby to me. I study these people and their lineage and their fashion and their jewelry. I can talk to you about several different tiaras that they own. But anyway, so I love a fascinator and I wish I had an opportunity to wear one. So when I got this theme, I was excited.
Yeah. Now, given I knew that you would be into this because I do know how much you love the royals. And by the way, we should offline about that Harry and Meghan interview later.
No,
but what did you think about, I think overall, the hats? They weren't really what I was expecting, these fascinators.
Well, what do you expect? I feel like they give me different stuff every runway theme.
Yeah. I think I thought, like, when I think of a fascinator, I just think of something that's like so incredibly intricate and beautifully made and delicate. And these just felt like, that's what it's like they're trying to think too far out of the box here, I think.
Well, I don't think a fascinator is delicate. They tend to be cocked on your head and oversized. Okay. So there might be some, the best ones were Princess Beatrice and Princess Eugenie at Kate and Will's wedding. Like,
I do remember those. I do remember those.
Those are iconic fascinators. And so just like double that, for a runway.
So it's like, it's supposed to be dramatic. It's not supposed to be dainty.
Well, maybe for a church service, dainty.
Sure.
But no, they're supposed to be like statement pieces.
Okay. Got it. Copy that.
So let's pull up. Our first is Olivia. But stand by.
Yes.
Find
Well,
it.
while
Here we
you're looking
go.
for it, I think Olivia was the first one where I was just kind of like, huh, this is where your mind went when you heard Fascinator. Like it doesn't, I mean, maybe you need to offer your, expert opinion here, but this doesn't look even like a hat to me at all.
Yeah, no, they don't look like hats. This is actually the shape of a fascinator because it goes down like partial head and then goes up.
Okay.
So like front and up like this or cocked to the side, that is a fascinator. It's not like a full hat.
Yep.
So shape-wise, I get it, but no, this doesn't work for me at all. I don't get it as a look. It doesn't even look like it fits to me.
Which part? Like the hat or the fascinator or the dress?
Or the dress thingy.
Yeah, it does look like it's moving weird because it doesn't fit her right or something. It's a mad scientist vibe, obviously, but I'm just sort of like, from a mad scientist, it feels like a step too far away to have this like mercury spill on a forehead thing. I don't know. It's just requires too much thought for me, maybe.
I just didn't think it was flattering on her, and I didn't like her makeup. It was like a streak of blush and then like a bright green eyeshadow or something like that. It just didn't work for me. I don't know.
Yeah. Didn't love.
Didn't love it. Okay, rosé is god. Remove. Add.
What? Oh god.
Okay, I'm just talking through the steps. Next is rosé.
Yes. Okay, got it.
Now this is a fascinator.
Gorgeous.
Do you like?
I loved this look. I did appreciate Michelle calling her out for her predilection for ruffles.
Thank you, Michelle.
We've seen it, Rosé. But this is like, this feels like the garment for Rosé, right? Like this rose theme. And then this, like, it's just beautifully made. Like, leave out all the other ruffle outfits and wear this one because this is beautiful.
Yeah, I love it. It does work great with the whole rose theme. Very fun spin on the name, but it's very much a fascinator, just like a tip thing that's oversized. This is oversized and crazy, and it goes with the whole theme. I didn't even notice the little studs, but I love the little thorn, addition. Yes, it's a ruffle, but this is the way to do a ruffle. Yeah.
It's pretty. Yeah. It's just like, I wish we hadn't seen all of the other ruffle looks because if this had been the first time, I would have been like, whoa, this is amazing. I have no notes, Rosé, but now I do have one note because you do too many ruffles.
Yeah. This is Yodaka.
Yes. Again, so much thought put into her looks, so many details to like, you could just scan her entire outfit and just get stuck on like this detail and then this detail and then this detail. The fit is perfect as usual. Good. And I think she looks great.
I love it. It's so fun. I'm so glad you guys like it. It just is exhausting standing Utica. It's so hard. But it's so amazing. The little ant detail is funny. This little garter thing, this like picnic vibe. The hat is her fascinator, and it's propped on the side of her head, and it's a basket. Yes, this is a fascinator. It works.
And I think her kooky presentation works for this because it's like bugs invading a picnic. It makes sense that you would be like moving in weird ways, trying to get bugs off of you kind of thing. Like this is a little bit more of a campy look. It's not like high fashion. So I think that her presentation of it is in line with the look itself.
Yay! Yes. Love it. All right, next up is Simone.
This one, I don't think the judges said one word about.
Yeah, they were. shocked.
Yeah.
Okay, well, like, let's just pause right here. When you see this coming out and she's got this like slow dramatic walk and you're just like, whoa, that is a traditional fascinator. Like that's what you had actually wear out to a wedding or something.
Yeah.
And you just see this whole look and you're like, whoa, Simone, glamorous.
Yes.
Then she turns around and you're just like, oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Yes, exactly.
Absolutely incredible.
She like created a moment, you know, that takes this like beyond fashion, beyond runway. You know, like you say, looking at this from the front, you see like the sort of dramatic hip pad, structured hips on this dress, and like her waist is cinched in, like it's so high fashion. And then to, you know, incorporate this message, this like social justice message to the back of it is like just really moving. And the judges were like in awe, it seemed like.
They really were. I have to pull up. I had to do 2 separate for her. So this
and
is
keep in mind, like this was filmed in
back.
July, you know, when things were very, very tense across the country. And so I just love that she was, you know, I don't want to say, I don't know that it's like bravery is the right word, but like, she was like, I'm going to do this.
It was pointed. Yeah.
Yes.
She wanted to have activism in her drag and wow, you know, well done.
So cool. Yeah.
So gorgeous. After Simone is Gottmik.
Gottmik was so cool to me with.
Was it? Please tell me your thoughts.
I don't love the safety pin feels cheap to me, but I really like the rest of the outfit. And to me, like, I just like that it is very detailed, but I'm not like getting hung up on the details. Like I just look at this and I'm like, that is a cool person wearing that outfit. You know, she just looks awesome. And she mentioned it when she was walking down the runway, but it's like cool to see her in her sort of traditional Gottmik makeup, the white face, the clowny makeup. But I wasn't like as in love with the safety pin Fascinator as the judges seemed to be.
Yeah, I wasn't in love with this at all. I don't understand it. I don't. Maybe I'm not cool. I mean, that's what I'm going to take away from it. You said this was very cool. And like, I don't get it. I don't see fashion. I don't see cool. I got so confused. I was like, what is happening here?
Huh.
I just don't get it. Nothing goes together to me. But I mean, by the time I heard the judges like losing their minds over this, I was like, I guess I just don't get Gottmik. And that's okay because a lot of people don't get Utica and I do. So
sure, yeah.
Okay. You know?
Yeah, I mean, it feels like streetwear-y, you know, obviously they call that the punk reference. Like it's almost like kind of Harajuku where it's like you look at it and you're like, what are you wearing? A little bit, you know, where it's like, is that clothing? But I don't know. I thought it was pretty visually arresting. I liked it a lot.
Okay, good. Okay. Well, lots of people liked it.
Sarah, next so diplomatic.
Is Denali with our ice skating, roller skating diner babe.
Again, I appreciated Michelle commenting that this is borderline costumey. I do agree with Michelle that she's pulling it off. I wrote down like Denali's doing better camp than Tina is here.
Yeah.
You know? But it's still that same thing that I've brought up before where I do feel like every week Denali is just coming out in a costume.
Yeah.
So
That might be like her sort of perspective, or at least just subconsciously the way she thinks because of ice skating. Like,
yeah, right. True.
All your ice skating years, you're wearing a little costumey outfit. So maybe that's just how she thinks of things. I thought it was fun though. Like, if you're going to give me, like, I don't always understand camp.
Yeah.
So if this is camp, I can get on board with it because it's kind of cutesy and I get it. The coffee with the mug is a funny fascinator to me. So, and I love that she's on skates, just kind of her.
Yeah. And it's like the perfect moment to be on skates. Like roller waitresses, those are things. Like that's a thing that everybody knows. So like this is the perfect moment for her to bust out these inline skates. And I don't know that we've ever seen rollerblades on the runway. We have in the workroom, but not on the runway. And so I thought this was a win, I thought, for Denali. Good job.
Yeah. Next is Elliot. We won't forget about you this time, Elliot.
Yeah, no, because wow, this was not my favorite whatsoever. I don't understand.
I'm shocked she's in a pantsuit. What?
But what? I almost am like, lose the drapey limbs, just wear the cat suit, Elliot, because I don't know why you have fabric hanging on your arm and your leg if you're telling this flamingo story. That doesn't make any sense to me. I don't think it looks good.
Is she telling a flamingo story?
That's a great question. She may have just gone with it because Michelle was like, oh, I get it. It's a flamingo. And Elliot was like, it's not, but yes. Yeah, of course.
Elliot did not say anything about being a flamingo we literally hear them describing their look during this part. And she's like, I've got feathers. I've got this. La, la. Never once was there a flamingo. Michelle's like, I get it. Well, I didn't like the drapey leg, but then I got it. You're a flamingo. And she's like, I was like, girl, that's what you're supposed to do. Yes. But no, this was not a flamingo look. This was just, I don't know what she was doing. Great Fascinator, though. The Fascinator's great.
I loved the Fascinator. I hated the wig. I, again, hate the drapey fabric on this cat suit. Like, what? When she's walking with that drapey leg in the front, it looks terrible. Oh, boy.
I just was like,
awful.
It's like every theme, what she hears in her head is fascinating fascinators, but make it Kris Jenner. Yellow gorgeous, but make it Kris Jenner. Like that's what I think she hears with every single one. And it's just making me laugh at this point because it's been so many weeks of this.
Did not love it.
Next up is Tina Abana. I'm sorry, what's on her head? It's on her head?
It's a horse head fascinator.
Nope.
She's got the ribbon, Sarah. She's got the ribbon. Like
the ribbon and the roses are bigger than the fascinator, and that should be a no-no. The fascinator should be the biggest thing. So she saw that she ran into a horse hat at a store or a catalog. And she was like, oh, I'm going to do this. And it doesn't work.
And every time, Sarah, she's got something big around. Like last week, I thought she looked great in her taxi thing because it was away from the neck. She's elongating her neck. And now here we are back again, piles and piles of roses around the neck. And it's just like, I completely lose when she turns to the side, like there, pause, where you can see her face on, you see a little bit of the neck. But when she's to the side, it just looks like her shoulders are in her ears and she was walking around with no neck. And I'm like, I don't know why you keep making that fashion choice for yourself.
I don't know. The horse doesn't even look great. It's not the right size. No. And you have to look close to even see it was a horse. I don't even want to tell you what I thought it was when she first walked out. I was not sure what that was. Yes. So no.
And the colors are not popping on camera. It's just like a flop. It's not good.
Yeah.
I almost think that maybe I could have seen her in bottom 3, maybe rather than in Olivia Lux, because the Richard was not good. And this is also not good.
Yeah. But Olivia
deserved it.
Needed to be there. So
yeah.
She cut it close here, Tina. You cut it real close.
Yeah.
Last is Candy Muse.
Candy Muse. I think it's good for Candy.
Okay.
I think this is one of my I don't want to say my favorite looks, but I like this more than a lot of other things that Candy has worn. Making your name into a hat is not necessarily a new idea, but it looks cool. This doesn't give her much of a shape. I'll say that. But I don't hate this necessarily.
Right. No, there's nothing to hate here. I loved this look when she wore it a few weeks ago. I think it was all pink. But it was exactly the same dress and silhouette. I meant to get the picture to do a side by side, but I'm sorry, I didn't.
Wow.
But yeah, it was great a few weeks ago, and so, I don't know. Candy might also be someone I just don't get. Like Gottmik. Like I just don't know what we're doing.
Yeah, I think I agree with that. Thinking about it, like I couldn't tell you what Candy's fashion perspective is as a drag queen based on what we've seen.
I think she wants to be very model chic. She loves like try to do a glam thing. I just don't think we get it. It doesn't always deliver.
Yeah.
But like you said, there's nothing to hate here. This is fine. I can't really see the Fascinator, but that's just me being picky.
Yeah.
Look, it's all subjective, and I just feel
need,
like sometimes I feel like it goes without saying, but someone did leave us a comment of like, it's all subjective. And I was like, yeah, obviously this is art.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. And this show is just about us giving our opinions. So these are subjective opinions. That's what this is. That's what we're doing here.
I fully get that I'm a crazy person for Utica and not everyone is. And just like, I don't get Gottmik, but I know that a lot of people do. So,
and listen, if you love Candy's look, that's great. Super. I'm not going to let you shop for clothes for me. But great. I think that's fine if you liked it.
Thank you. Not personal. It's drag.
That's right. Yes. And as someone once said, you're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's okay. And maybe people think that about us. We're entitled to our wrong opinions.
And we are. We sure are. Yes. So, I had some favorites and some okays in there. I thought it was a good mix with that. But I think, so what we hear next is Simone, Tina, Candy, you are safe. And that's when I was like very sort of like,
what?
Simone is just safe?
Just safe?
Simone
with that runway, and the Harriet Tubman was good.
And those two things. That runway was the winner of runway for sure. Hands down.
Yes.
Winner of runway.
Hands down. And not just because it had the message on the back. Like the hat was gorgeous from the front. It's an incredible Fascinator from the front. Incredible structure on the garment. Like, come on, give me a break. Someone should have been in the top.
100%. That was a bit confusing there. So now we're going to talk about Olivia, Rosé, Utica, Denali, Gottmik, and Elliott. And you definitely know there's some bottoms in there for sure.
Like it's so clear. Obviously, Gottmik and Rosé are in the top here, and then Denali is our third one. Like I would have replaced Denali and Simone. Like I would have swapped them.
Yeah.
For myself.
I agree.
But Rosé is pretty much positive across the board, as well as Gottmik. Denali gets a little bit of like, it's a little costumey, but we like it in this case, but she's getting praise, which I think she needs. And whoa, boy, they just really did not like Elliott's Rue McClanahan. They just really didn't get
no,
that. So.
And we have to agree. We absolutely. They did not like Utica's Bob Ross.
No.
They make that very clear. Loving this look, they say. Great.
Yeah.
Bob Ross.
Right.
Nah.
Olivia, they're sort of like, it could have been so much better. Like you kind of left some things on the table. You know what I mean? Like you didn't pull everything out of the chest of tricks that you could have used for Tabitha Brown. Like, especially like you already mentioned, Michelle knows who she is. And so it was like, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do this? I did think it was weird that Michelle was like, there's so many things about Tabitha Brown. It's not just that she's a vegan. She also loves her husband. She also loves her kids. And I'm like, well, that stuff's not funny either. We got to keep searching in the Tabitha Brown.
Not funny things. So I don't know if Tabitha was a great choice, but it could have been a great choice if you were like, I mimic her little, you know, like I do those things all the time. Like that's someone you mimic. Like, Gottmik. I don't know that Gottmik is going to have a full arsenal of people that she can impersonate, but I bet you she goes around imitating Paris Hilton because they have some similarities. Like she can really go into that voice, right? So you go around and do it. And that's why that was amazing. She killed that. But like, that's what you got to do. Not just be like, I like this internet person. I'm going to be them. Okay. So at this point, though, I was like, oh, but wait a minute. Does this mean Utica's going to lip sync for her life?
Yeah. That's what it means. And I don't disagree. The look was good. The runway look was great, but it was not enough to make up for this Bob Ross performance. And so when they come back, they reveal who's the winner. Gottmik, of course, obviously the winner. Rosé, Denali are safe. Olivia's safe. We've got Utica and Elliott in the bottom two. And Utica's kind of saying like, oh, I'm a little nervous, like to go up against Elliott. She's this dancing diva, blah, blah, blah. And I kind of felt like Elliott threw in the towel a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't see any passion compared to what Utica was doing. Like Utica was lip syncing for her life and she did a good job. Like she was throwing it all out there, doing every Utica trick she probably has. And Elliott, it just kind of felt like she was like, I'm done. I'm not going to even do a split. Like it's just, I'm not in it.
Yeah. I mean, that was kind of where I was thinking. I was like, okay, even though Utica is going to lip sync for her life, it really is Elliott's time to go. Utica will be soon because like her looks are amazing, but if that's it, you know, it's not going to keep you in the race. So her time is coming, but Elliott, her time came before. And so I wasn't really worried for Utica at this time. But then, when you see the lip sync, I was like, is Elliott knows it's her time to go. And so she's just not. She's like, I feel it. This is it.
And it just is like I said in our last video that it felt like they were saving both Simone and Candy because they felt like Elliott needed to go home first. And here we are. Oh, Elliott needed to go home first.
Yeah.
So.
She did. I mean, it's true. She did. And so it's unfortunate that Elliott she did not use the stage. She did not really, Utica's all over the place doing the ups and the downs and the all over. Like she clearly wanted to stay and she does.
Elliott did the Running Man, Sarah. That is just.
Well, it was an 80s song, which I love.
Okay, but I just need from here on out, I'm saying it. Personal subjective opinion, everybody. If you're doing the Running Man, stop the music and sashay away. You're out of here. That's not appropriate. Not in this house.
Sometimes the Running Man is appropriate, but honestly, if it's the only thing you pull out, it's not a good look because that makes me think that's your only move, and that's not good if it's your only move.
And it's not her only move. Like we've seen Elliott do good lip syncs. This was just not. She was over it.
She was tired. She was like, no, thank you. I don't want to stick around anymore. Oh, well, it was a good episode. I enjoyed the Snatch Game overall. People are going to bomb. That's fine.
Yeah.
Great looks. But yeah, we're definitely getting there where people I care about are going to go and people I don't care about are going to stay.
Yeah. And I did like Elliot's mirror message. She was like, took y'all 4 tries to get me out. So you finally did it. Yep. But the next time, preview makeovers on each other, which I think is interesting. Obviously, there's always a makeover episode each season, but usually they're like bringing in a group of people to make over. Clearly, we can't do that. So I'm interested to see how this is going to work and how it's going to look when they're like painting each other's faces.
Is this not something we'd normally do?
I don't know that they've ever, gosh, there may have been 1 or 2 times where they paint each other. But normally it's like they bring in a group of fans, or, you know, they brought in a group of like old gay guys one year, or like military veterans. There's always like some group of people that they bring in for the makeover challenge. But now they're just kind of stuck with each other. So
can't bring people in. This is a good question because our top 3s might have changed. I think we used to think it was going to be Simone, Denali, and Olivia. We at one point thought that. But I don't know.
Well, I personally think Simone, I mean, I think it's going to be a top 4 again. Well, maybe it won't be because they're probably not going to do a big live finale this year. So maybe they're rethinking how they're going to do the finale. But last season was only a top 3 because of Sherry Pie, right? That would have been a top 4.
Oh, right.
So if it's a top 4, I'm going to say Simone, Gottmik, Rosé, Olivia. Based on like who's won challenges at this point. You know, we're kind of like seeing the track records.
That's really frustrating that Denali hasn't gotten what I thought she deserved.
I agree.
She's really talented.
There's time. I mean, we've sent home 5 girls. You know what I mean? Like, it feels like we are 3/4 of the way through the season, and we are not, folks. Like, we're still in it. We're in this. So there is still time for Denali to have that like surge at the right time. You know, Simone's narrative, I think right now, is you peaked too soon. She needs to kind of like pick it up in the back half of the competition a little bit.
Yeah.
But same with Denali. There's like definitely time for people to emerge as this like late blossoming star.
Yeah, it's been real interesting to see like who they like, you know, and that's what it comes down to is they love Candy. So she's going to ride it for a while. But should she be top 4?
No, neither should Tina. Neither should Utica.
No.
Yeah,
I can agree to that. Okay, well, you guys, our schedule is filling up, but we will still be here Monday nights for Drag Race. So thank you guys for joining us in the chat and giving us your opinion. Appreciate it.
Yes, we always love that. And if you're watching us later, let us know what you thought about our completely subjective wrong opinions. And
except that we're always right. But
we are always right, yes. But give us your wrong opinions in the comments. I'm teasing. But let us know what you thought about Snatch Game, the lip sync. Did you think that Elliot was throwing in the towel like we did? And what else? Let us know what you think, how you think these makeovers are going to go next week.
Yes. Okay. So Wednesday night, we're back for Bachelor. We've just got 2 more episodes of Bachelor to recap.
Yep.
Get you a wife, Matt. Thursday is a busy night because we've got Amazing Race Australia with James. And then immediately following that, David joins me for our BB Can eviction recap. Woo-hoo!
Yes.
And
Loving
then, also, oh my God, tomorrow, Jolene's going to come on Nerdtainment tomorrow, and we're going to do some live feed spoiler chat
fun
for BB Can tomorrow night. So, oh my God, hopefully you're subscribed. Hopefully you just click that bell.
Oh my God, honestly. If you haven't
stuff.
clicked the bell, I just don't know what to tell you. Just click the bell.
Just click it.
What are you doing? Click it. Oh my God.
All right, you guys. Thank you. We'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.
Bye.